there are a lot of myths, and all I do is I see them mostly growing and very few going away. Would you agree with that statement?
100%. Given that we are 10 to 15 years into this whole cloud thing, the fact that these myths have continued to stick around, if not sort of embed themselves even stronger into our culture, is amazing.
I heard them 15 years ago, so when things got started. And I think there were a lot of assumptions at the time that were perpetuated by some of the larger institutions around, we don't want to put our data in there because it's really scary. And oh my God, the data could be anywhere. And then there were other people who kind of looked at it, particularly like smaller institutions, who went, oh, if I just put everything in there, it'll all be secured because they told me it would be.
Craig says security has created much of the fear-mongering around the security state of the cloud. Agree or disagree with that? Just quickly.
I think security people feel like they want to make sure that they hold on to that special security job, which is true. And we will all have jobs. I want to do the fun stuff. I don't want to do the regular day-to-day ticket answering security stuff. And a lot of that does in fact get put back on the cloud providers. So when you do that, you do actually get to do more of the fun stuff.
Ian Pointer asked this one: what myths or unknown truths do you think do the most damage to our ability to use or secure the cloud?
The myth around data sovereignty and geolocation of the data, where people are like, no, I can't put this stuff in the cloud because I have these data requirements. And I've worked in jurisdictions around the world, and very few of them have broad, like, you must keep your data within country. And most of the time, they've been updating those as well.
I think the myth that the cloud provider will take or not take responsibility for a breach that happens. That goes to the shared responsibility model. And people really misunderstand that shared responsibility model.
I would say the simple way, simple big quotes around that one, that I always look at it is that you are always taking on all the risk. You're delegating mitigation to the cloud service provider, but at the end of the day, it's your data, and it's always your data.
I like this question that came in from Eli Migdal of Boardish. From the non-technological decision makers' point of view, do you believe that they are expecting the cloud to provide security, or are they not going that deep about this subject at all?
The default answer for most orgs is we are in the cloud, or we need to be in the cloud because it's the cloud and that's where everyone's going. Though occasionally I still hit across a company where I'll talk to a CIO or a CEO or CFO, and they're like, no, we can't go cloud. It's too risky. There's too many problems. It's just totally insecure. And at that point, I know they're not the challenge. It's someone within the org who's, either in infrastructure or security that's digging in their heels because they don't want to go.
It is time to play the Department of Yes. Promote that cloud security is mostly a legal issue and hand it off to the chief legal officer, achieving clean hands.
Yes, I want to make this purely a legal issue. Honestly, I've been getting harassed from the CFO to buy a ton of cyber insurance. So I am 100% yes behind this, because as it explodes in his face, I will finally eliminate the argument of getting this cyber risk, because they will not have the political capital to push this through. And we can finally get back to doing the work of actually improving our security posture.
I think it's a fabulous idea to make general counsel completely responsible for all of the cloud security, because then I no longer have to report to the board.
Overload your SIM and the team with logs from every single cloud source. Just sort of pump that SIM with cloud source logs.
It's especially useful to do that when you haven't actually done a threat analysis, because now you have all of the information and you don't have to do the threat analysis. It's all just right there for you.
This is a great idea because it finally provides the context that we need to make informed security decisions.
All right, we have Dutch Schwartz wearing his unicorn t-shirt. What's your question or comment?
We talked a lot about the myths and why they persist. What do we do to change that, right? We've kind of, gnashed our teeth and lamented about it, but as a group, what do we do to change the dialogue?
I think the biggest thing that's going to move this is getting security people familiar with the cloud. We need to get our hands dirty in cloud. We need to be building stuff. We need to know what it means to have these fast iterations, how we're making rapid changes, because once we start to use it, then we'll understand it.
Historically, we haven't had a lot of developers on security teams. And if you want to move to the cloud and do it correctly, you need to write security as code and infrastructure as code, and you need to understand it.
All right, Matthew, you have two of the bad ideas that are going to go head to head here in the what's worse scenario. Please throw them to Mark and Marnie.
Move all resources to the cloud and fire your security staff, since the cloud provider will handle the security for you. And the second one is try to sell the on-premise is always safer approach on the same week a huge Exchange 0-day is published.
Which one is worse?
I think on-prem the same week as an Exchange 0-day is worse. Because normally on-prem is a hodgepodge of everything. So it's challenging to kind of run around and plug all the holes with the cloud and then getting rid of the security staff. So I think it's worse on-prem just because of the lack of tooling.
I'm going to agree with the on-prem. If you sell it too hard, then the pendulum swings too far in that direction, and they start going, well, gosh, maybe we should bring all of our CRM on site, and maybe we should bring all of our financials back on-prem. And
security is way too disconnected from the business, and the cloud really exposes that because of the speed at which people are moving. It's a people problem. When we're back in the office going for coffee together, set 10, 15 minutes with the key people so that you have visibility, so that you have that connection, and good things will grow from there.
Technology is not going to fix a broken process. You've got to understand what your processes are, and you have to really understand what the cloud does and doesn't do for you. We have to stop doing things the same way we've been doing them for the last 10 years and simply moving and applying that to the cloud. It is not going to work. Please stop doing it.